Welcome to the first edition of AFL Off the Field. Today I'm joined by Anthony Koutoufides, a Carlton legend who played 278 games from 1992 up until 2007. Kouta kicked a total of 226 goals for the Blues and is regarded as one of the most versatile players to have ever played the game. His on-field career was outstanding, but today we're going to talk about what he's accomplished off the footy field. Welcome, Kouta. How's it going?
Very good, thank you, Nadine.
Firstly, I've got to ask this question. What happened to the Blues on Thursday night?
Yes, no, I did watch the guys, and unfortunately, round one, sometimes the teams are caught off guard, and they've had the advantage over Richmond for a long time. I just feel like Richmond are an up-and-coming team, and they really wanted it a little bit more than Carlton. Yep. So, the first quarter they were okay, the Blues, but for half a game they were terrible. And it wasn't until they fired up in the last quarter that, they showed what they can do.
So now, Kouta, you announced your retirement from AFL football in late July 2007. How's life been since you retired, and do you miss the footy field?
Of course I miss footy, because it's been part of my life for so long. As a young kid I dreamed of playing, AFL football, and I was able to achieve that, and for so long it was such a big part of my life until the age of 34 when I announced my retirement. So, it was a game that I loved, and, I felt like, I achieved something. And now since footy, I guess you've got to find yourself a little bit too, and that's what I've done the last few years, and I've really enjoyed that part of it too, because I've found a new passion and love for something, a game where I can set goals and try to achieve things like I did in footy now too. The unfortunate thing is my wife thought after I retired that she'd spend more time with me, and she's finding less time with me. But I said to her, I'll work hard, like footy a little bit, a few years, and then we can retire together after that.
The reason for your retirement was due to a hip injury that you suffered. Did your involvement with Dancing with the Stars have anything to do with that?
Certainly not. Dancing with the Stars was fun, but certainly very easy on the body, and there was days we trained for 8 hours throughout the day, but at the end, recovered really well. It was such fun that I had, Nadine, with Dancing with the Stars, because, I learned so many different dances, and I didn't expect to last that long and to, eventually win it at the end.
Yeah, speaking of which, you did win that 5th season of Channel 7's Dancing with the Stars. You competed against Andrew Gaze, Tamsin Lewis and Chris Hemsworth. Is there anything that you're not good at?
A lot of things. You can ask my wife, Nadine. She'll tell you there's many things that I'm not good at, and still to this day I haven't really cooked up a good barbecue yet, but I'll get better at it. It's all about improving. But look, they were wonderful people to dance alongside or against. Andrew Gaze was a terrific mate of mine and did extremely well. He was a very funny man, and Tamsin Lewis was an ex-athlete who I knew before the show, like Andrew. And Chris Hemsworth, he's gone on now to become a movie star internationally and done extremely well, and his brother's obviously dating Miley Cyrus. So I met a lot of wonderful people throughout that time, and when I first woke up I was the least favourite to win. Can you believe it? On the odds. And I went on all the way to win it. So I'm assuming, Nadine, you gave me a couple of votes throughout the...
Yeah, definitely. We were all texting in the tune.
That's right.
In 2008, again with Channel 7, you played Kouta the Greek God in the revival of the show Gladiators. How was that experience?
Did anyone watch that?
Yeah.
You sure I was on there?
It started off well and then it plummeted.
Yeah. Look, it still had good ratings. 1.2 million viewers was still a lot nowadays, but it was up against some other good shows, and I think the costing of it was really expensive for Channel 7, so the global financial crisis hit, and I think they had to cut back, so Gladiators was probably one. If it wasn't for that, they probably would have done another series or two. It was just, look, a great experience away from home for so long. I had to meet all the people. I didn't know anyone really, except for Olympia, who was a previous athlete who I'd met before, and that was Tatiana Grigorieva. And the rest I just sort of met on screen, and they were wonderful athletes from all different parts of the world and and backgrounds.
So, Kouta, you also opened up a Souvlaki Hut restaurant in Templestowe with former teammate and good friend Ange Christou, and you became the advertising face for the franchise. Now I have to ask you, that Souvlaki Hut commercial, how were you roped into doing something like that?
That was terrible. I didn't know they were going to actually release it. We filmed it and we thought, no, it's not quite right, because it was done, really low budgeted, and it wasn't good. I initially found it funny, but it's gone across the world. You know that, Nadine? Even in Greece they had it on one of their shows and said it was the worst commercial I've ever seen. Then it got voted the brown lady here in Australia too, so not a great one. But it's all, this world's all about having fun, and to me I found it a little bit humorous anyway to get out there and just talk to a gorilla. But yeah, look, that was an experience for me with Savlaki Hut. Obviously being the face of it, didn't pan out too well at the end of the day, but it was all a good experience.
Yeah. So Savlaki Hut was your first business venture outside of football, yeah?
Yeah.
No?
Probably one of the more serious ones that I took, yeah.
Yeah. And what were the challenges that you faced with that?
Well, initially, it was a new game for me, being in the cafe, franchise system, so restaurants or whatever you want to call it. It was a new experience, so dealing with, working people. There was a lot of things that I didn't think of that occurred throughout the process. So there was a lot that I did learn throughout it, and I realised how tough it is out there and how much time you have to spend in your own business in order for it to succeed. So Ange was our manager there. He put a lot of time in there too, but he needed help at the end of the day also. So there was a lot of challenges with it, but I put it down as an experience, and I've moved ahead since then.
Yeah, so from what I understand, you also studied financial planning outside of football, or during your playing days. How did you balance your football commitments with study?
How did you know that?
Google.
Oh, really? It was on there, yeah. I got my diploma in financial planning, and on my day off, it was hard. You didn't want to always be footy. You needed something outside of that too. So I worked part-time in periods, and then towards the end of my career, when it was really full-time footy, was hard. Yeah. So I decided to do financial planning, and I studied that too and really enjoyed it, but never sort of ventured on. I just wanted it as something that I could fall back on just in case.
Just in case, yeah. So today the AFL Players Association really helped footballers with their off-field development. Was this different to when you were playing football?
Yeah, 100%. When I first started, there was nothing really in that area, and as I went along, my career became more and more prominent, and now they really do try to help the players, because a lot of players have wasted money along the way and haven't invested properly, so now they try to help where they can.
So currently you're a Herbalife distributor and you own this beautiful lifestyle centre.
Yep.
Tell me about what your role involves.
Well, initially I was quite ill in 2010, Nadine, where I was sleeping 11 hours a night, sleeping throughout the day. I had a lot of health issues, and I was seeing doctors, and I was getting blood tests, and they could never find what was wrong with me. Try to tell me eliminate this, eliminate that, maybe try this, try that. At the end, I just got worse and worse. So for the first time in my life, physically, it was the worst I'd ever felt. And for me, who was always active and strong and being able to do whatever, it was scary. And someone showed me Herbalife, and I was real sceptical because I thought I've tried all these things before, but this was different.
Yep.
And after 5 days of being on the program, it hit me, where I felt energetic again. My running improved, my recovery improved on it, and at the age of 40 now I feel unbelievable. Even my arthritic shoulders gone. So I really truly believe in these products and the company and where the company's going, the morals that they set too of helping people, change people's lives, health-wise and financial-wise. And so that's the reason why now I've found a passion again, and I've got some goals to achieve in this company now.
Yeah. So you've done really well. Do you want to expand more on the Herbalife products at all?
The products they're designed by some of the greatest doctors in the world, Nobel Prize doctors involved on the board, the only one in the world Nobel Prize doctor who's put his face to a company. The company turns over $6.4 billion, so they dwarf everyone else. From seed to feed, I know everything that goes on.
Yep.
From by the time we're having it here, consuming this product, it's got a tracking system the entire way, so I feel comfortable to know where the products are sourced and who's growing the products. I know they're the best of the best. So because of that quality, New York Stock Exchange, the company's going from strength to strength. Lionel Messi's put his face to it, the best soccer player in the world for 4 years. So I feel very comfortable in promoting and doing business with Herbalife.
So did you strategically feed the city Savlakis in order to gain weight so you could launch a new business?
Well, it was supposed to be healthy food, the Savlaki, but probably didn't turn out to be that way. But no, I would never intentionally do that. But there is an obesity epidemic out there, Nadine, as you would know too, and a lot of health issues with people. So we've dealt with a lot of people and changed a lot of people's lives, but there's many more to come.
So back to footy. What's ahead for the Blues in 2013, and how do you think Uncle Mick, do you think he's the right man to lead the Blues to their next premiership?
Look, I think Mick was the obvious choice with his experience and the knowledge he has from previous coaching for so many years. I think Kouta needed someone like that. If anyone's going to take him there, Mick can. So.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your time today, Kouta.
No worries,
it was a pleasure to speak to you.
No problem.
Ta.